Hello, I'm Will Forge, and today we will forge. Now, let's see. Oh, I normally hop into my map before, so we don't have to wait for it to load in. Whoops. But, we're good. We're actually getting internet, hopefully, I believe. Fingers crossed, the stream is going well, but unfortunately for me, I can't see it on Kick. For some reason, it won't load for me, so I can't even see if it's going well. It's going well on YouTube, though. It looks pretty smooth. Let me check to see if my settings... Check in here for stream output. Yeah, I'm at 3,000 kilobits per second. That's good, that's good. And stream is on ignore streaming service settings recommendations. Good. So everything should be working fine. But I can't actually tell because it won't load Kick for me for some reason. You know what, I'm just gonna reopen Kick. Let me see if it'll work if I close the Kick. You know, maybe the server, I'm connected to it weirdly. Okay, nope, it's not working. Okay, so I wanted to do this all day, but I couldn't really do anything in it because there was just computer stuff. Just the Cox digital cable, basically is our ISP, and they were just really messing up. But it's working now. Anyway, the point is that now I'm going to be placing AI spawners, and I'm going to be trying to develop that technology, that script and everything like that we're going to need. So gameplay, and this is like, once again, this is still just my play around map, and the final version is going to be probably a different file, unless we just add everyone to this one and turn it into it. But the point is that we're gonna play that by ear, I guess. But we are, each of us who are working on it are going to have our own play around files as we work on our own development. Let's see, our own sections of the what do you call it, MOBA, of the game engine, basically. Let's see. Okay. I need to get AI, which is at the top, and I need to do a... I think we're going to just do AI spawner. I don't think we're going to worry about phantoms. I think what would be really cool is that if you choose... What would be really cool, actually, this would be awesome, is if one of the classes, like the commander class, can... hey, PTSD machine! How's it going? So we were going to make a couple classes. Let me go ahead and do that, actually, because I'm going to need them for the script. Because I'm thinking that what units you have are going to be based on your class, right? So we're not going to just hand you everyone have grunts that upgrading to, you know, this or that and go all the way up. What we're going to do is probably make it to where you have a certain number of grunts and then like one, like what we discussed already. Let's see. Good to see stream run smoothly. Yeah, I know, right? Like, well, okay, so what happened earlier today was the tech came out. I didn't even let him inside the house because then he'll charge me $75. Walked right around the side of the building, showed him that where the pylon was. This little, like, you know, green pylon thing. Took off the cover, he plugged his machine into it, immediately saw packet loss from their side of the tech, not in my stuff, not my modem, not my router. So proved that I was right, that it was not my stuff, it was theirs. And then proceeded to, you know, he wasn't the one who can solve it. He had to call someone else to solve it, the tier 2, and now the tier 2 people were supposed to solve it, but they didn't tell me when they were going to come out or anything. And then a couple hours later, I did a speed test, and suddenly it was looking really good. It's not as good as it normally is, like 45 megabit per second upload speed. It's at like 35, but it is closer to being fully functional, and it works good enough for now. So they did something on their end. I don't know what they did. Anyway, the point is that with the scripting, I need to have... Let's see, we're going to do variables... Oh, I didn't post to Twitter. I should do that. But anyway, variables advanced, variables basic. No, it's advanced. No, not advanced. It is basic. I'm going to just create some identifiers, I think is what we need. What are strings again? That's text strings. Yeah, that's what you post to things. Team user label... It would be interesting. Maybe we could use user labels and, like, I guess here. Let me show a little bit of a discussion that we're having right now. That's my stream. Let's see. We were discussing this, and eventually I wrote it up. So I have an actual write-up. But we were discussing in here, and it's up here, which is in our Discord. You can join it. It's in the description of the video. If you want to come join it and see what we're doing to develop this, you can. And this chat is open for anyone to join. This chat is open for only people who are who have been included in the team, the development team, can post new ones to here. If you want to be included in the development team, if you got some skills, you want to come and join us and make this MOBA with us, we can do that too. But yeah, so what I was doing here though was I summarized it here. So basically, we're going to do a right now we have one lane map with side jungles, right? Which is a League of Legends term, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, 24 players total, players and or Spartan bots, 32 AI campaign, right? From campaign. So what it's looking like is we're going to have to make it 3v3 teams, because if you want to pause and like read this, you can in a video, if it's in video format later, I guess. But if you're watching live, basically I'm just going to explain as well, though, that basically 3v3 teams probably for this MOBA, because one lane will be supported very well with one lane, or at least 3v3 would be able to go head to head in one lane very easily. But more importantly than that, when you divide up the 32 total campaign AI, it becomes 16 per team. Yeah, I'll just read this technically, or directly, basically. With 32 AI, we can give each team 16, and with player count, after dedicating the 6 players themselves, we have 18 bots, or 9 on each team. This divides nicely as follows, and basically we're going to give you, every player is going to have 3 campaign AI and 1 Spartan bot that's going to apply as your mobs, you know, that you have, and you're going to be able to upgrade those mobs over time. To, like, unlike League, where your mobs don't really change, I don't think. I'm pretty sure they never get stronger. But basically, yeah, instead of constantly getting mobs for the whole team, each player is going to have their own mobs, and you can upgrade your mobs based with the resources. You can also, like, theoretically buy vehicle spawns and stuff like that. So we're kind of have some ideas there, and I'm going to actually do that now. And I think what we really need to do is we need... like, if we use user labels to say, like, each player is, like, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and then, you know what I mean, for, like, the one team, and each of those is a different player, we could use labels on all of the objects, in which case we wouldn't need to create an identifier and constantly refer to it. But then we can't really use that to store things as easily, I think. Yeah, so maybe we should just do identifier, weapon type, combination, vehicle type. Wait, what is this? Creates a new weapon type by combining... Oh, right, yeah, I know what that is. Boolean. Okay, yeah, so I don't know. I'll have to talk to everybody else on which we should do, but I think identifier is what I'm going to do for now. What I'm talking about, by the way, is creating one of these to represent each class. So we had discussed Trooper. I mean, I just threw that as a name, so I'm just going to call it a Trooper for now, and that's basically the class that can call down a drop pod and respawn at that drop pod as the concept for them for right now. And then we're going to do, I was calling it Commander, but I bet there's a better name for this. And that is someone who can actually command their squad directly instead of them moving along the path. And what I was thinking was Commander might be able to also set a location and maybe make it to where their units deploy with a dropship to that location. But this might be a different class. Not really sure which one that's going to be. Like, we could do, like, Sergeant, for example. Like, Sergeant Johnson's always delivering in his band, you know, in his Pelican, the troops to the battlefield. Where did my music go? I just realized. Oh, ad blockers. Yeah, I guess I gotta turn off my ad blocker. And I'm gonna have to cut all the songs from my playlist that have ads in them, because I can't be having ads play in the background. They might have copyrighted music in them. Can't do that. Kick is still not loading for me. I hope my stream is up on there. It's just doing this. Like, I just infinite loading. And it says 1 viewer, so I guess I've got somebody over there, but I can't tell. I can see if they chat and it goes through Restream, then it's going to show up in OBS, but I can't tell what's going on with this. I don't know what's happening. It might be working, it might be broken, I don't know. Anyway, and then we were discussing... Let's see. It was like a fighter type, like a sword, maybe a gravity hammer. We had an idea for like a roguelike class. I'll call it rogue, and we were talking about like being able to, you know, them having sword and stuff like that. Maybe thruster would be really cool for them, or something to that effect. We were also talking about a bruiser or berserker for like a hammer wielder. So like both of these are like melee combatants. Maybe we would keep both of these, maybe we would cut one of them, I have no idea, because they're both just melee units, but I like melee units, so, you know, having like 2 ranged units and then 2 melee units would be cool. And I'm thinking the Trooper would eventually get to like potentially level up until they're spawning with a sniper rifle or something like that as their primary, and then their secondary would be something else. And I'm thinking personally, and I'm thinking Commander would eventually level up until they're like, I don't know, I was picturing them with an assault rifle to begin with, or something to that effect. It could be, though, we could do like a melee combatant and they would eventually have both weapons or something. I don't know. We'll have to discuss all that. The point is that I now have classes to apply, and I can replace these with other classes later. And now I can give you an army, you know what I mean? Like, depending on which class you have. So as long as a player is assigned one of those identifiers, and then I have to make, I guess I need to declare those as variables. Add node, variables advanced. Oh, where is it? I actually have to declare those, not just, come on now. What's going on? Hold down the Y button, go in here, give me control. There we go. Add node. Okay. Variables I declare. What was it? Where is it? Identifier, right? Do you have to declare identifier? No, identifiers are applied to them. What am I talking about? So what is our variable here that we would be using? Declares a string variable with a custom identifier. Variables declarations do not require an event node to trigger. You know what it would be? It might be that the class... I'm not sure. I'd have to talk to... There's a certain elite type that has energy sword as default, and you give it a secondary ranged weapon to hold. I don't remember what one it was, though, and the one I did was camoed. Awesome. Yeah, I accidentally placed one... Was it a warlord? Or was it... I forget what it was. I placed one down that I wasn't really sure what it was going to be, and it came out and it ended up turning on its camo. I thought it despawned because it turned on its camo as it ran into a wall. Because I didn't rebake the nav mesh like a dummy. So one of the ramps ended up being in the wrong spot, and it ran into a wall, and it disappeared because it turned invisible, and I thought it had just despawned. So I don't know if there's non-camo version of Swordbearer. I think other than elites, you cannot give AI melee weapons. Gotcha. By the way, is my YouTube video named the right thing? I just realized. I set it to be named... Oh, yeah, it's named the new thing. What about this? Come beat me at my own map? What? Okay, we gotta change some settings over here. Nope, that's not it. Stream. I did not. Apparently, for some reason it didn't change this one. It was supposed to. Nothing on Kick is loading. Why is nothing on Kick loading? Is Kick down? I have no idea. Is Kick down? I wonder if down detector is gonna come up. Down detector, Kick, down. User reports indicate no current problems with Kick. Weird. Don't know. My stream isn't coming up, and neither is my dashboard, like my user. I don't know. No clue. I hope it's not. Hope it's working. But I can't rename it. So weird. Okay. Anyway, equipment type variable, grenade type variable, number variable, object list variable, object variable. So, I guess in a way, it's a number variable because we're just gonna level you up, right? So, your levels, this is your class. So if, okay, if I, for example, were to say, you know, here's your, it would probably be an object variable, and we would apply it to you as the object, and say your level, your value, initial value is probably going to be 0. And the reason is because everyone has 0 levels in Trooper by default, and then we're going to give you a level 1. And when we give you level 1, we're also going to apply all of the effects to you. You know what I mean? I would say that's probably how it's going to work. And we're probably going to have to do some clever stuff with, like, ping and stuff like that. Like, if you have level 1, if a player pings and they have level 1 in Trooper, then it will spawn, it will mark the area as where your drop pod drops, and you'll be able to respawn there. Then if you ping a different area, it will move that, right? I think other than elites, you cannot give AI melee weapons. Oh, gotcha. Okay, then yeah. Oh, well, I think you can give brutes hammers, though. I checked Kick, and you are streaming there as well. Interesting. I don't know why it's not working for me. It won't let me get in there to actually rename it or something. And I noticed the lag is not as bad on Kick as it is on YouTube. Well, oh, so it's even better over on Kick. Nice. So anybody on YouTube right now that wants less lag, go over to Kick. But for some reason, I can't rename it. Like, it won't let me get in there at all. Let me try clicking it again one more time to see if it'll reload. Let's see. creator dashboard. No, my creator dashboard. Look, this is my creator dashboard right now. Stream, and it's just loading infinitely. I don't know what's going on. Okay, well, oh well. Let's see, duplicate this one. This is basically your class. So yeah. So basically, across the board with a lot of other scripts, they're going to refer back to these. They're going to be object level. We're going to apply to you as an object that you have this many levels in this class, right? And we're going to level you up over time. And we're going to be able to refer to this as well. We're going to say anytime, if someone has, we're going to say basically, yeah, we're just going to refer back to this number variable and say if this value is this, then do this power. If this value is higher, is this value or more, then do this. If it's at least this, then do this. So whenever you activate your power, it's going to just, yeah, do that. Or I guess we'll say if it's equal to this. That way, yeah. Anyway, the point is, I think it'd be really cool if, as a trooper at the beginning, you can drop one drop pod somewhere, and you ping somewhere on the map, and then it drops a drop pod there, and it drops a respawn point there, and you can respawn there, right? That's what we talked about before. But then later, if you level up enough, it unlocks the ability to mark there, and suddenly, it also moves your units so that they respawn there as well. And they will do a drop pod, and it will be like it'll be like the what do you call it? Blah. What am I trying to say? It'll suddenly drop all of you every time your units respawn. They will drop there with drop pods like the banished drop pods. That's what I'm trying to say. And then that would be really cool. And then the other one, the commander would be able to ping, and anytime they ping, if it's inside your territory, then a drop pod, a vehicle will actually go down there and deploy to that location, which would also be really cool. So not like when it happens you immediately get extra units, but that will it'll move your respawn location to there if you have that, I think, would be really cool. So basically what that means is that I need to have a spawn location like this for each player, and I need to have enough drop pod locations for each player. Because if any player chooses squad, right? And I basically need to so what I'm trying to say is basically if I place this here, right? And I put enough for the full squad, right? Each player is going to have 3 campaign AI, and they're going to have 1 bot. The bots will not be able to respawn on these, but whenever they respawn, I can move the bot, right? So I can move the bot to your drop pod's location, and it'll effectively sort of spawn out of your drop pod, right? So that's what I'll do there. So, but each player is going to need all of these, because if you choose this class, if you choose a commander class, you need to be able to ping somewhere, and it will switch from, instead of spawning units into your normal respawn point at base, it will switch it to this one, and it will move this to where you pinged, so that you can, if this thing is suddenly moved to your ping location, let's say like here, then now you can be right up on, right at the battlefield, and in the middle, while other units have to walk all the way up to get to the combat, your units will just come in, guns blazing. We can even set to where at an early level, you can do this. At a higher level, when you do this, it even it modifies the value of the drop ship to suddenly have, what is it called? Phantom vehicle drop, no, not vehicle, phantom preferences, active turret on, and then side gunners eventually on. And that would just be really cool. If basically at the beginning you can drop your troops anywhere, and then you'll have your cooldown. And then as you level up, it'll add the active turret. And then as you level up even more, the side gunners appear. And then, yeah, actually side gunners might be first, because you can kill those as it's coming down. So you can actually eliminate their threat. So maybe they're a weaker one. Not really sure which. But anyway, seat preference. What seats should be prioritized on the Phantom? Oh, right, that's, yeah, left, right. I'll probably leave that on both, because the Phantom needs to drop down, logically. I don't know. It'd kind of be hard to yeah, that way it would actually, if it comes in and it's facing that direction, then your troops will, sort of jump out on both sides, and then your gun turrets will be available to shoot from both sides. I'll have to move this and rotate it. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. So, yeah. This is all cool. I hope that chat, if actually PTSD machine, if it has anyone said anything in chat over there, would you mind going over there and saying something in chat and Kick? Because I haven't seen anything in chat from Kick. So if chat is also messed up, then I wouldn't know. You know what I mean? If you wouldn't mind going and helping me out with that, because that would tell me if it's getting through or not. Because that could be a thing too. Like, people could be over there sending messages and I don't see them at all, and that'd be really lame. But yeah, so basically you're gonna have, I will check, cool. So what we can do is we'll definitely need to have like a spawn location for each player, right? Oh, and by the way that we had it, the numbers that I was talking about earlier, this thing, these numbers of having 3 AI and 1 Spartan bot for each player and having it as a 3v3 actually leaves some leftover bots, like Spartan bots, a pool of 4 of them, which means that you could come into this game mode with just 2 players, you and a friend, and then the 2 of you could play a MOBA against 4 bot players that would be moving around. Now, they won't activate their abilities, but having them on the map at least will give you a little bit of a leg up, you know, against your other team. And we're going to spawn them as Spartan players because, again, they won't know to ping to activate their abilities and stuff like that. So they might be able to, like, if we have to use a custom equipment for one of their powers, then we could do that. But yeah, anyway, it'll be kind of cool. Another possibility, by the way, is if we don't do it where the commander can do this, because commander, we were already thinking, could like ping on the map to tell their units to move there and directly command them in like an RTS mode kind of style, or a squad-based game mode. Then the other possibility is actually that we could make a custom equipment that you launch onto the battlefield to create smoke. It looks like people were saying stuff. I am not familiar with Kick, but I'm pretty sure those comments were for this particular stream. I do not have Kick account, so I can't comment there. Oh, dang. You know what? I have Kick on my phone. Let me go see. I just realized that. Let's see. It'll take me like 2 extra seconds, but I can check it. Kick. There we go. How can I see my own profile? Channel. There we go. Let's see. Yeah. Chat. Might try to do some VP and Infinite. Oh, that's cool. Okay, let's see. Test. That might be from today. No, because I did just see that. Okay, that must have been from yesterday. That was Aaron. Okay, so I did see that come through. That's good. Let me check if that might have magically cleared my other issue. Nope, it's still not working. Well, at least I know that chat is coming through. Hey, Shitography Studio, welcome. I found it from Discord Stream Alert. Gotcha. Oh, you got it? Yeah, I figured it out on my phone, and I guess it's working, so that's fine. You know what else I just realized? I never did comment, or like post to Twitter. Let's see. We are making a MOBA live. A Halo Infinite MOBA live. Come hang out. Alright, cool. There we go. Alright, so what I was just thinking was, okay, we could, for example, if we go and do... Okay, if I go in here and I say... okay. Wait, hold on 1 second. Just checking. Yeah, okay, cool. If I go in here and I say gameplay, equipment, custom equipment, where is it? Is it just a equipment dispenser? Yeah, and then you just set it to custom equipment. And then you do scripting. There's only 1 custom equipment, right? I'm not wrong about that, right? I can't magically create like 6 different custom equipment, right? Hey, wow, look at that. Wait, what? Is this new? Is this new? Am I wrong here? Didn't it used to just be 1 custom equipment? Is that 4 now? I could have sworn there was only 1 custom equipment. Guys, there are a bunch. Okay, was it always like this, or is this new for this season? Anyway, custom equipment ABCD means we can actually not use ping. We can do, you can reference each of them. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, enabled. So like, let's say I want to do a custom equipment A, right? when I do the custom equipment, you can set, if I'm not mistaken, whenever you use the custom equipment, can't you set the custom equipment to be... Are they all use on you, or can you switch them to toss? To, like, launch them, like the, because I would love to be able to launch them. If I can't, then add, let's see, add node equipment. See, I haven't actually gone into the inventory equipment. Just player equipment charges, just player grenades are same equipment type. Empty player equipment, get equipment type. Get is holding any equipment. Player equipment charges, refill. Set player equipment charges, refill player equipment. Okay, so get is holding equipment type. Is that where I can go in and say equipment type? Yeah, there we go. Custom equipment A. Cool. Okay, not that that's really what I'm looking for. Okay, so generic objective. Where's the custom equipment section, if there is one? You can reference each of them. Can I generic game mode events players? Stopwatches traits. Where is? How do I actually set what happens whenever you use it? Do I have to go into? Oh, you know, it's events inventory on equipment used. That's what it's supposed to be, right? On custom event. Yes. Okay. Cool. Okay. And then, do I have to say equipment type? Do I have to no, I don't have to define that. So on equipment used, and then I say get is, let's see, inventory equipment, get is equipment type, get equipment type. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So get equipment type. Wait. Oh, wait. No, wait. Equipment type is already there. That I just plug into. Now, that is saying equipment A, right? Yeah. Let's see. Event. Oh, Aaron sent something in Discord. Let's see. Let's see. Events custom. You can reduce nodes with custom event. How do I make a missile move and explode in scripting? Say move an object by 50 meters, make it blow up, then despawn it. You would put an invisible pointer. Ooh, is that your own photography? Holy crap, Aaron. That's awesome. That is really good. Wow. So you finally found... Oh, no, it's Assassin's Creed. Never mind. I was about to say, so you finally found a really dark area to take pictures in. And I remember there was Assassin's Creed that you were looking for one of those in. But you did find one in Spider-Man, clearly. That took me 20 minutes to set up. Nice. That is like... That's like marketing level of quality. That is really good. Okay, so how do I make a missile move and explode in scripting? Say move on object by 50 meters, make it blow up, then despawn it. Basically, you'd put an invisible pointer object, like an arrow, and it's invisible during the game, and basically it has its own location. You'd set that where you want it to be, where you want the explosion to go, where you want the missile to go to. You'd hit translate to point, and translate to point, and you'd plug that pointer in as the object, or as a destination object, basically, and then your missile in as the main object, and then it would translate to the point. You then set how long it takes, the duration, and to set how fast it's moving, basically, because it's going to get there eventually, but you just got to set how long it takes to get there. And then you'd set your curve, and basically that translate to point node is how you would do that. And then the event on that triggers it would be what's up to you. But yeah, I'll throw up on a Twitter tomorrow. Yeah, you definitely should. Okay, going back to spine despawned. Gotcha. Always. And so basically, on equipment use, activating player. Okay, so the player that's going to activate. We're going to get an equipment type is going to be, you know, custom equipment A if you're holding custom equipment A. So then we would say, let's see. I'll be back. Okay, sounds good. Sounds simple enough. Yes, it shouldn't be too hard, and once you get it, the main thing will be making sure that your missile is pointing toward it and like aligned and everything correctly, so it doesn't look like it's flying sideways or flipping around or something like that. And if it does do a flip, that means you have to rotate your arrow to fit it. Here's the best way to get the arrow to match exactly what you want. I'll even just show you this one because it'll take like 2 seconds. Is you'll go to in gameplay, you'd go to, let's say, where is it? Scripting. Scripting has a pointer, right? And this pointer, doesn't, you'd think that like the very tip of the point would be its object location, but that's its object location. So it's kind of weird. And so basically, let's say I wanted it to be, let's find an object that's good for, oh, this sniper, there you go. I want this sniper to shoot like a missile, right? So then I'd put another sniper over here, and like I want this sniper to hit the ground at like this angle and go boom, right? Because it's going to start off flat and then it's going to go straight and then sort of turn downward as it goes until it hits that point, right? So what I'd do is I'd select this sniper, and then I would go and I'd select this. And because that's the first thing I selected, the sniper, that means these coordinates here are for that sniper. But if I enter these coordinates again by going into them and then entering them again, it will apply to every other object I have selected, which is just that other pointer right now. So if I do that twice, if I do that for each of the locations, it's now located in the exact same spot as the sniper. If I do the same thing with rotation, it does the exact same thing. So if you want to align two objects, you just select the one you want it to be aligned to, and you select the other object that you want to align to it, and you do that. And now this arrow is exactly where I want the missile to end up, right? So whenever I script it to fly to this location, I know it's exactly going to land where I want it to be. So now I can delete this extra sniper, and this is now exactly where I want this sniper to go, boom, and then explode, right? So that's all you got to do. To align it. That's how I set up the rocks to fall exactly where I wanted them to fall in Waterworks, by the way. Was that I placed the rock down where I wanted it to be, then I snapped an arrow to it until it was exactly the right location and rotation, and then I just I translate them to that object to make it fall and flip and land where I want to be, in exactly the same spot every time. But yeah, okay, so, right, on equipment used is going, I know this has nothing to do with the AI, and I'm just trying to figure this out real quick because it might help with the AI in a minute, because whenever I script the AI, I'm going to have to do some stuff with this. And that is that you use it on yourself with custom equipment, right? It doesn't launch it. I was hoping to get something that you go ping and it shoots out the exact same way as, you know, what do you call it? The threat sensor, right? The threat sensor would be exactly what I'm looking for. But since I can't do that, I think they're all just used on yourself. I have to now create an object to fly straight forward and locate and end up on a point. So instead, what I could do is you use this on yourself and then you ping a location. You use this on yourself and maybe there's a countdown timer, and you ping a location, and that's where your drop pod's going to fall. It's a little bit confusing though. And if you don't ping a location, then I would just make it fall, the drop pod would be where you are. So you'd be setting your current location as your drop pod location, right? And that's the only thing I can really think to make it to where it's like, you know, it's more useful if you know how it works, because you can ping. But if you don't know how it works, you can fall back on a sort of like idiot-proof version where it just puts the drop pod where you are, like in the zone you're in. And of course, the actual location of the drop pod is going to be based on the area you're in, location spot, right? So it's not going to literally fall directly on top of you and kill you, unless you're standing right in that spot, in which case it might do that, which would be a really dumb thing to do. Anyway, the point is that that's all not super duper important right now, but the main thing I was thinking was, yes, PTSD machine. The main thing I was thinking is a custom equipment that would drop a smoke bomb, right? An effects, ambient, let's see, liquid smoke, there it is. Covenant smoke, UNSC smoke, burning embers, glowing embers, yeah, no, probably just the UNSC smoke large, yeah, that's it. A smoke, you'd pop smoke, and your troops would then deploy there the next time that they respawn, right? So like each team would probably have a color here, but like, or maybe we could just use green and just use it as a generic for everybody. But yeah, let's see. I like that green. That looks really nice. What about this green? That looks that looks nice. But I like this one the most, I think. Or that one. Anyway, Discord main chat. I have screenshot to show you what I was trying to say. Oh, good. Yes, let's check that out. Main chat. PTSD machine. Okay, here we go. Yes. So on custom equipment use activating player equipment type. On custom equipment use B. Oh, that's an option in there? I didn't see that. Oh, cool. So I don't just have to use a generic one. I can use something more specific. Add node, event custom. Okay. Events. So not events inventory, events custom. On custom events use. Ah, yes. So these were here the whole time, for a while, right? They didn't just drop these with Season 5, because now that I think about it, I did have to scroll this far down. I just wasn't paying attention to what was up here this whole time. Let's see. So basically, yeah, if someone uses custom equipment A, then what I would do... So basically, yeah, okay, so this is cool. That means that we can make each class have a different custom equipment, and then have some classes that don't have a custom equipment, they have a normal equipment, but then we would use them like Spartan abilities and make them recharge, you know, instantly have another one, you know what I mean? It was Season 5, they dropped it. Oh, it was? Oh, cool. Okay, so I'm not dumb or blind, but I am dumb and blind in other ways. I'm frequently dumb and blind. But anyway, a friendly Marine squad. Oh, what were you saying? I also been having trouble with respawning friendly AI after they die. Say, a friendly Marine squad always seen to respawn multiple times after dying, which I only want them to spawn once. Gotcha. That's, yeah. Let's see. Oh, right. I keep on missing, what? No, happens to the best of us, right? I keep on missing Photography Studios, because he said looks good, but before that he had asked if I could get an invite. I don't know if I can give up undo with this one because I don't know what I'm doing right now. Like, if I screw up and delete an entire AI spawn and I have to manually reset it back up again because I did something dumb or something like that, you know what I mean? I might accidentally completely mess everything up, and I can't really give up undo on this particular one. I apologize, but if you want to hop into your own version and build stuff that we could maybe put into this, that would be cool too. I think with art, for example, we are gonna have to run that by everyone because I think we want it to be presented as like all of our ideas. But if you create things and we run it by everybody, then that would be cool too. So I just thought I'd let you know. But yeah, okay. So on custom equipment A used, for example, the trooper. I'm just gonna throw these up here. The trooper needs to be able to do the drop pod thing. If the trooper uses it, it starts a countdown. Understandable, but can you add me as collaborator later? Oh, yeah, I can do that. Or, well, actually, this is just my mess around with map. I'll make a copy and add you as a collaborator there, and we can use it as like our block out map for, and I can give everybody collaborator on that one too, because everybody needs one. So I'll make, I need to have one that like nobody else can mess with so that I can play with stuff and know that nothing will get deleted or changed or added, you know what I mean? But then every now and then, that could like potentially mess something up. But then have another one, like a sterile environment, a public environment, you know what I mean? Like with video game development, you'll have your sterile testing and you'll have your like live, your basically there's the public server and then the sterile server, and sometimes you'll even have certain teams that have their own sterile versions that are even smaller. So like, yeah, so I will do that, but I know you're already in the credits on this one because we were doing it before. That's not what I'm concerned about. I just need to have one that I can undo in like today, and then one that I can do other stuff in as well. For example though, with what I was saying a second ago, is I think the rogue should have thruster. Or blink, some kind of teleporter ability. And if it's blink, then that would work, but like they could just have, actually, you know what? The rogue should have invisibility. What am I talking about? And it should replenish. But it'll replenish over time with a countdown timer, right? The berserker should have overshields. Obviously, right? Like overshields and invisibility are already Halo things. We don't need to do much to make those a thing. The class is already there. So like overshields with a hammer, invisibility with a sword, those are really cool, I think. Just have a public copy where everyone can save their own private copy. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'll set it. Yeah. And I may not publish it so everyone can do it, but if I add everyone to it, then everyone can save off their own copy, and that would work. And then everybody would have this little block out of the map to be able to like mess around with stuff. They're plain English. Yeah, exactly. let's see. So, okay, so Trooper would have like custom A. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna duplicate this one and just say, I'm just gonna say drop pod respawn power. There's a note for myself. So this one has like a drop spawn respawn power, shift or control D. This one is going to have like squad commands power. So here's what I'm thinking for the squad commands then. If we can use it as custom equipment, then we could be like, you use it and it goes, and then like a countdown timer happens, and if you do nothing, then the troops fall back to your position, right? They come to you. If you're using and then you ping a location during that countdown timer, then your troops will go to that location. And done. That's all we need, right? I don't know if it's possible to give AI equipment, but that could be awesome if you can. Yeah, it would be cool. Actually, you can give bots equipment, but I don't know if you can tell them how to use it. You know what I mean? They might just randomly throw it together. But honestly, actually, if we just spawn the bot players as the classes that just have infinite invisibility and infinite, energy shields, right? And then, by the way, I figure these, since they're like, they might get like level up and they might get their movement speed slowly increased, be handed the version of the hammer that lets them jump higher and like stuff like that, or the version of the sword that makes them run faster, all that stuff. We could do that kind of thing, but we can also just slowly increase their player traits and decrease their cooldown for their invisibility and invincibility, right? So like their level up would be really straightforward, like fighter type. You know what I mean? And then these are more like casters, like spellcasters, or like, that kind of thing. So they have more complicated systems, but they also have to have, like, but that also gives them more, like being able to spawn your units as a drop pod. I mean, that's what we need to do. Like, I've got commander here, but honestly, let's call that... Okay, realist. I was going to put sergeant for the people who can call down the drop pod wherever they want, but let's actually do that as commander because, or, you know what? I'm going to name that Lord Hood. I could call captain, like Miranda Keys, she's the one who actually tells the drop pod, the pelicans where to go. But then the sergeant, like Sergeant Johnson, is the one who's on the boots telling his troops what to do. So we're gonna make the sergeant be the one with the squad commands power, and then we're gonna do the Lord Hood, I'll call it a captain. That makes more sense. Like Captain Keys or Commander Keys, one of them. We'll go with Commander, I guess, or whatever. Yeah, we'll go that back to Commander, I guess. Or Captain. But let's see, Sergeant can command their troops. I think that's how you spell sergeant. I don't think I did that wrong. And then over here we're gonna say can spawn troops with dropship. Okay, so now here's another thing though. Like, we could theoretically, I'll have to look at what we're going to do with this player spawners. Like I was saying, I might have to create a player spawner for each player for the dropship, so that if they choose that, the commander class, then they get to use the dropship thing. But I might be able to assign it, just give them the ability to do that and make it to where only one player can be each of these classes, which would work just as well. Anyway, I don't know if it's possible to give AI... Let's see. Spec Ops elites are automatically invisible. Oh, nice. Oh, gotcha. That's really cool. I'm doing some graphics work tonight for some non-Halo stuff, but that should set me up to have more free time this weekend. Awesome. Welcome, Hollywood Forge. I am brainstorming ideas now that I found out we have 3 different custom equipments, and I just thought of a way to do all of this better. The drop pod respawn power, the commander thing. Were you here earlier for me to describe that, or do you want me to go over it again? Photography Studio says, show Discord. Show Discord. Oh, you sent me something in Discord directly. Okay, let's see. What is this? Ooh, that is the window in the Forge world. That is the big window opening for the large up on the ledge thing. Oh, come on now. You can't go do that. Let's not do that. Oh, it's in one of the ODST themes. No! I love the ODST themes. I don't want you to have that. Oh, gosh, dang. Oh, well. Let's see. So, yeah. That's awesome. That's some really good progress. Could you technically use a prefab pelican along with an AI spawner timed at the correct time to simulate that? I see. The in is next to the spacebar on cell phones. To simulate, and on keyboards, to simulate Marines dropping from a pelican. You could, but your prefab of your pelican would have to be entirely made up of dynamic objects, which can't be scaled, so you might end up making a really shitty looking pelican in the process, and it might be better just to let them drop from I mean, think of the end of ODST. They captured a Phantom, and they dropped in, and then in Halo 3, the elites allied with them, there were green Phantoms, they dropped in. Just imagine your characters have a captured Phantom from the Banished, and they're testing out their, they're doing their drills, running their drills with that. Let's see, just arrived, missed any today classes discussions, right? Okay, so today class discussions would be the Trooper class, right? That we talked about yesterday, having the drop pod. I realized you can use custom equipment. The custom equipment goes boom, just like the energy shield or invisibility, right? So when you use that, it's going to put a countdown timer. If you do nothing else during that time, then it will set your current location as where your drop pod will respawn you, except not like literally where you're standing, but where your where the nearest call out location is, right? The location that you as a Spartan, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure that we can go to players and go get player, or get is let's see, get player. Can't you get player location, get player mark override, get player team, teleport player? Can you get player named location? Named, let's see. Number of teams, number of players. Maybe you can't, and we're gonna have to use a gosh. Block player respawns. Well, anyway, if we can get all players, all players in team. If you can get player in named location volume somewhere, basically, that would be perfect. If you can't yet, then what we can do is we can set an area monitor to it, and we can say when you use it, you'll get which area, which. You'll get an area monitor kind of thing. Let's see. Just arrived. Yeah. Oh, Marines can't drop from Phantoms. Unfortunately, you will have to sim that to or time it correctly. Okay. Could just name pointers. What we could do, could just name pointers. Yeah. So what I'm thinking is that basically if you use it, it'll grab the name pointer that's nearby, right? Or the named location volumes that's nearby, and then basically. That will be where your drop pod is, right? And that will let you respawn. If you use it and during the countdown you ping a location, then that location, even if it's really far away, as long as it's within your team's area, will become your spawn point, right? And you'll drop in. It might be cool to actually allow you to go behind enemy lines, maybe like one tower behind enemy lines. With this power, you can't go more than one tower behind enemy lines, and you can't go into their base or something like that. But we might be able to find a way using like volumes that sort of block respawn locations, stuff like that, to allow you to do that behind enemy lines, like one tower back or something. But anyway, the point is that that's what that does. And if you, as you level up, eventually your troopers will start to spawn at your drop zone location, so that you can by dropping by drop pod, which means the trooper, your AI, I mean, the trooper, which means that the trooper cannot have Marines, like Lightning Eve was saying, cannot have Marines as their units that level up over time, right? So we've got to give those to someone else. The commander then can spawn troops with the dropship. So what they do is they can use the power, same thing, and what it does is it drops a thing after the timer goes to 0. It drops this on top of them. That's the idiot proof, by the way. That's so that if players don't know how to use the ability and they use it, then it will set their current location as the location so that we can make it idiot proof. And then because we can't tell them how to use the power, there's no way to tell them how to use the power with like text or anything. Actually, there is. We can put that on the map's description, like image. We can actually put a list of each of the powers, take a screenshot of the map, add text on top of that, describe the powers and how to use them as text on the map's actual image, and then we can, and so you can read that description. So we could do that, or we could just, yeah, anyway, the point is that you use it. The idiot-proof part is the countdown goes to 0, and it puts it on your location, and that switches you from using your normal respawn point, and instead, now it's using a phantom respawn point that puts it at that location, right? And so the phantom will spawn in, go burn, and whenever your units respawn, it'll go burn, and it'll come in, and it'll drop your troops off right there. And as you level up, eventually, your phantom gets, you know, where was it? Auto turrets, right? The side gunners eventually it'll spawn it with the side gunners turned on, and eventually it'll spawn it with the active turret turned on, if we can do that. I'm pretty sure we can do that with a script, but I'm not 100% certain. So I think you can actually. And the reason, and then that'll be really cool because that means you could like ping a location that's like your troops are almost dead there. You know that you're about to engage with the enemy. There's only a few of your troops and a ton of the enemy. Make yours respawn there. They'll come in and they'll have air support for a couple seconds, and then it'll drop off the troops. Now the ODST one, the trooper that has the ability to potentially start spawning with these, they'll do the same thing. Instead of using this, they'll start using these, and they will spawn in on top of your pod, but not at the beginning. That's something you have to level up as the trooper to eventually gain that ability. Whereas the commander gets this from the beginning, and it just doesn't have any gun turrets on it, right? So those are the different sort of powers, is what I was imagining. And then what we can also do is with the squad commander power, that's basically the sergeant goes boom, and then if the countdown goes to 0 without doing anything, your troops don't follow the normal path. They come and they follow you. They all just like follow you as an object, just like they did in the display of the AI at the very beginning, like right before the season even launched. They follow you, and now your troopers are following you around wherever you go. If you go boom, and then during that countdown you ping somewhere, your troopers will go out to that location, and they'll move to that location and attack, right? So like we can basically have like these different abilities will change how the battle actually engages depending on who has what. Now the other two are the rogue. The rogue has whoops, that's the wrong button. That's how you do it in Blender. I do that every single time, it seems. This one has unlimited camo with decreasing cooldown. As it levels up, it decreases cooldown, and potentially is given like an energy sword or something like that. And then the duplicate, and then down here the berserker, right? The berserker has unlimited OS with decreasing cooldown as they level up. So unlimited overshield, unlimited camo as these two classes. We still have room for one more custom class we can generate a really cool new power for, and we have and then we have the I was saying yesterday I think the rogue would have the translocator, but I'm not sure what the translocator would be at this point, because the rogue seems like it should go invisible, right? And we could do a custom one that, like, I'm not even sure what to do with this extra one, but if you guys come up with something, that would be cool too. Because we were talking about these yesterday and like spitballing them back and forth, or bouncing them back and forth. But the point is, I'm not even supposed to be doing the bots the powers right now. I was going to do the bots. I was just trying to think of how to do the bots in conjunction with the powers. So like, for example, we need to have 3. I'm pretty sure we need to have 3 different spawn locations here, one for each player. And I don't think we can just use the same one, can we? Actually, we might be able to. Okay, in scripting, I need to look at this. So this is just sort of like an outline of classes right now, but that's not exactly what I was planning on doing with the script today. Add node. Okay, we got to go to the AI section. AI. Okay, combine squad overrides. That returns a squad override containing the input squad overrides. Wait, what? Squad overrides empty. Squad overrides. Oh, that's overriding the current settings. Right. This is what we use to change settings. This might also allow us to change, let's see, squad override behavior, identification, spawn logic. That could be how we do gun turret changing. Spawn squad through definition. Spawns a squad according to the squad definition. Okay, initial combat state, empty, initial facing, yaw. Okay, this is mostly just the basic ones, I see. Move zone. So we can set the move zone. Okay, cool. You can change the move zone with that. Spawn squad through definition. Okay, so how do we create a squad definition? Combine squad toggle, trigger AI spawner. That basically, this is literally how you just do reinforcements, I think. You literally just go trigger it, yeah, and you're done, and you're good. Because it'll respawn the exact same squad. Kill squad, kill all squads. Get squad from AI units. Get squad definition from AI spawner. Yeah, okay, so this is where we can grab the definition. Oh, interesting. So I could create squad spawners that we don't use, that are outside the map or something, that are used by all players, and they would just define what your level of this class spawns as, right? Or rather, not like what your level as a class, as you upgrade your units to better, more powerful units, which doesn't just naturally happen naturally as you level up, I don't think. I'm pretty sure your powers level up as you level up. As you get experience points, you level up your class. But then you also are given some kind of like value, like money, I think is what we're planning on doing, something like an amount of value, sorry, currency, that's the word I'm trying to say. A currency you spend to upgrade your units. And yeah, anyway, so get squad definition from AI spawner means that I could put an AI spawner outside the map that's like level 2 rogue units, right? They can be anything. They can have marines in there, right? Because all they have is camo. We don't need to change how they drop. We don't need to change anything. They can spawn just from the base and run out there. So the berserker and the rogue can both have marines as their AI unit. And what we could do is we can make a marines setup, outside the map that is just like, that's just used for the berserker and or the rogue. And what we do is get that definition from that spawner, which is predefined, and use it and reset their current one. Like we have, so like what I'm trying to say is basically this one is out here on the outside the map, right? And we never use it. We never spawn units there. It's just a dead one, right? By default, it doesn't spawn anything. This one, also by default, doesn't spawn anything. We trigger its spawn. But on this one, what we do is we set this all to 0, right? Unit is at none, right? So this one's at no units. And because this one's at no units, in fact, because if there's no nav mesh up here, this one won't spawn units anyway, right? So it won't matter. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Unless it's like on the nav mesh, it won't spawn, right? I'm pretty sure. Anyway, or it might just be as if you have no nav mesh, it won't spawn. But anyway, the point is that this one right here would be empty, right? And what we do is in the script, we grab this one, which is a preset, and we apply it to that one because you reach this level. And whenever you level up, we grab the next one that's a better one, that's like more powerful units. Like maybe all grunts for the rogue at the beginning. Oh, you level up. Okay, now you get a marine. You level up again, you get another marine, that kind of thing. And we can just do that. But we could probably do something to that effect. If not that, then in the script, and to do that, we just grab that. We just AI spawner, we grab that, and we squad definition, and we set it to, we override their main spawner with this spawner's definition. But anyway, and we can do that every single time you do a dropship spawn too. Whenever we set the dropship spawn location, right before we spawn the units, we override it with the current, with the commander's current squad value, right? What troops they can drop, right? So then that should immediately drop it. Let's look in here. Ally squad with free-for-all player makes the AI units in the squad friendly to the player and assigns. Oh, cool! The same free-for-all allegiance as the player. Oh man, a free-for-all ally AI. That's amazing. Hey, whoop! I did not mean to click that. I meant to hover over it. Let's see. Assign AI unit to spawned squad. Okay, so if we could replenish. What if you could use an ability, and like it says assign AI unit to spawn squad? No. This is for if you want to like fuse squads together, isn't it? Oh, this would be what we use for. Okay, I see. Yeah, our squads are gonna have 3 AI, which means, and you can have a maximum of 8 at any given point in time, and then you're gonna have 1 bot, right? That's the math that I came up with for how to make sure that we have enough AI and bots for the entire map, right? For all the things we talked about doing. So if it's 3v3, 3 teams versus 3 team for players, and then every single player has 3 AI assigned to them and 1 Spartan bot assigned to them as their mobs, then that means that what we could do is that's only 3 in a squad. So then whenever you go to buy mercenaries or buy hunters, we can assign AI units to the spawned squad like this, and just basically spawn them and put them into that squad, and they'll join your squad, and it'll immediately be that. Assign squad to team, assign squad, and that'll be, yeah, we can generate that means we can generate them as neutral jackals whenever you buy the mercenary jackals, and then once they're spawned in, they can be spawned in as neutral. They don't shoot anybody. They don't care. They're just neutral. And then and their AI is like set to dumb or whatever it's called, the way they don't attack anybody. And then we assign the squad to your team, and then we set them to no longer be dumb, and then they'll run off to go. And then we assign it to your squad, and that should work. Assign squad to zone. Oh, a move zone. Oh, cool. So that's how we would go for the commander. I mean, for the sergeant. Whenever the sergeant tries to break them out of the pathway that they're moving along, they will the assigned squad to zone would allow us to ping a location, and then it would move the zone to there, and then it would assign that as their next move zone, and they would immediately start running off to that move zone. So that would work out perfectly for that. Get AI character type. Returns a character type for an AI unit such as Grunt, Conscript A. Cool. Okay. Get all AI spawners. Get available AI unit count. Returns the number of AI units that can be spawned before reaching the runtime budget limit. Yeah, so we have to be very careful about how the units respawn, which means that what we need is get all... Let's see, where's the get... There's probably a get squad definition. Get squad team. Get all units of species. Get squad AI unit count. That's it. There. That's what I was looking for. So whenever we respawn our units, we need to get the squad AI unit count and then replenish them. I think there's actually something that specifically does reinforcements that replenishes it to full, rather than so it only respawns the ones that are dead. But I think they mentioned that at one point. Get squads from spawner. Get squads with squad label. Get squad has squad label. Okay, alright, cool. So AI advanced and then AI modifiers. This is where we might be able to set it to have gun turrets, I think. Set, let's see, modify target maybe? Apply undetectable to all AI. Apply Valhalla. Get AI targetable object list. Modify AI targetable list. Does this mean, let's see, adds or removes an object that can be targetable by AI, who will perceive it to be on a team and will prioritize attacking it based off priority. The priority value can be negative, which reduces the likelihood of being attacked by AI. That's how we destroy towers. Or not towers, but the gun turrets. To clear out the towers so that you can get in there and do it. The bots can actually be told to go and kill that. Modify AI targetable object method. Sets whether an object that is currently registered to be targetable by AI can be attacked by grenades and vehicles. Oh wait, what? Attacks with melee weapons can also be discouraged. Wow, that's cool. So we can tell them not to attack it with a melee weapon, which means the melee units won't be trying to get up at the tower, at the, trying to sword the thing up top. Obviously the ghost, though, I mean the rogue would eventually get the Spec Ops elites as their main units, or at least one of them or something, and then the berserker would probably get up to the brutes with the hammers, which would be really cool. But set AI difficulty, set AI unit inactive. So that's how we would spawn the jackals in as inactive. Set AI unit percept, and then we would turn this off. I think you set this. Let me see. Is inactive, yeah, and we hit false basically. So we would spawn them in. Their spawn location would always set them into inactive and neutral, no team assigned. As soon as they spawn, because you're the one who spawned them, it would set them to your team, and it would turn them to active. And then they would run, and then they'd run off to wherever your next attack location would be. Set AI unit magic sight. Set AI unit perception. Set all health bars visible. Set health bar. Set squad follow objects. Set squad stop following. Okay, so AI waves. Okay, add wave to wave manager, end current wave, get current wave status, get wave manager status, remove upcoming waves, wave, defines a wave of AI units that spawn. Ooh, wait, what? Duration seconds, wave options, AI spawner list. That's it, right there. Is that? Okay, I think, no wait, hold on. Hi, how's it going? Let's see, welcome to the stream. Let's see, okay, the wave Wave options. What is this? Incoming message, outgoing message, delay spawn until budget, extermination percentage. Okay, wait. Wave options, extermination percentage? What is that? Is that how we... Let's see. Percentage. The percentage of units that need to be killed before the wave ends. Okay. I just woke up 4 minutes ago. Nice. Let's see. Perfect timing then. Let's see. Let me see. How do we change this? Okay. Wave. Okay, so what does it mean by extermination? Exterminated, does that mean that it now will spawn the new one? So we can set this to 0. Like when it reaches 0, 1? Wait, what? Oh, 100%. Yeah. Right? It's been exterminated up to 100%. I think that's correct. Not reduced down to 0%. So I bet if I go up, it will go, yeah, back down to 1. Okay, when your squad is completely exterminated, it respawns. Delay spawn until budget. No, we don't need to do that. Outgoing message, incoming message. I really like the idea of saying incoming message true, because that means that it'll say reinforcements when every single time your troops respawn, which will happen a lot throughout the match. I'm going to school now. Goodbye. All right, later. So incoming messages every single time that your units, the next wave starts, it'll say, you know, reinforcements, which I think will be cool. It'll happen a lot during the match, and it might become annoying, and we can turn it off if that's the case. But yeah. Theoretically, we might even be able to use wave options and pull a different one to where when you level up, after you level up your units for the first time after they respawn, it'll say reinforcements. Maybe something like that, but I don't know. It might be crazy, though, having, like, squads getting wiped out and constantly going, reinforcements, or something like that, you know? Might be better to have the outgoing message, actually, because that would be like, you've wiped out all of their bots, and now you know that you've wiped them out, so it's gonna I don't know. Hard to say. Don't know. Anyway, wave type, AI spawner list, duration seconds, wave options. So, I'm still trying to figure out where, if there's there's an AI modifiers, squad stop following, set all unit difficulty, modify targetable list, apply Valhalla, apply undetected. Okay, and then AI, how do you get all units, kill all squad, spawn squad through definition? Okay, what is the definition? Where do we find, squad definitions are probably a new variable, I would assume. Like, do we have to declare a squad definition variable? There it is. Identifier, initial value, and scope. Okay, so what do we do with that? Identifier variable, blah, blah, blah. They're automatically performed when the node graph script is run. Declare squad definitions variable. It's variable with a custom identifier. Variable declarations now require even event node to trigger. They're automatically performed. Declare squad variable, declare string. So what do we fill this with? Variables basic, variables literals. Do we have a squad section here now? No. Literals, no. Units. Aha! There we go. Get all units on team, get is airborne, get is camouflage, get is detected by team. Oh man, what are we gonna do about the threat sensor? Like, we could theoretically, what if we made it so, oh, right. If we give the player 3 AI units and one Spartan bot, we can give that Spartan bot an ability too that's unique to your class. Which means your Spartan bot could have a threat sensor if you're the trooper, because it's like a ranger type. So you could detect invisible units if your Spartan bot decides to throw down that threat sensor. You won't have direct control over it, but by being a trooper, your team has a threat sensor bot, Spartan bot. And then we can do the same thing with, like, we could do like, we can also do player traits applied to them. Like, we could theoretically make the Spartan bot that's for the Berserker have more health and a higher movement speed and, like, run into battle ahead of all of the other, like, AI units, just slowly get there a little faster than like the grunts do or whatever, so that the enemy's shooting at them and not the grunts. They end up soaking all the damage. The grunts are guns in the background. They're glass cannons. They're shooting people down, and it sort of could really play out pretty nicely. And theoretically, at the high, if you level up your own troops all the way to maximum, your Spartan bot as the Berserker could have a hammer or something like that, which would be insane. And let's see, so we can actually level up not just you, but also your squad's Spartan bot, and they will behave just like your squad. They'll be moving toward the enemy base along that path. Because what we do is, by the way, the reason that that's going to work out so well is that we can literally just put bot nodes, you know, the nav markers. We can put the nav markers down the same way you normally do. Gameplay... where is it? No, wait, I closed it. Whoops, gameplay. Nav mesh bot nav marker. So these have neighbors, and you basically just set which neighbors they go to, and we just have to make the neighbors effectively make the bots run in a straight line down the map to the other team, and then to the other enemy base, and then the other bots will run straight this way, not reusing the same ones, because then the neighbors might decide to turn around and go back to your own base. We want it to basically go out there and then never come back. And we could theoretically also move the destination nav marker. So we could just be like, there's one in the base and there's one out there, right? And when we move, when we are fighting over, like when we want to kill the gate, like theoretically, okay, this is just a theoretical example. I'm going to pull one of those new, let's see, accents. Yeah, banished. Where's those like weird tower things they have that are like, that look like drills. Let's see. There we go. There's one. So let's say we've got, this is a terrible example because there's 3 of them in one thing, but let's say this is the tower, right? Let's just throw this in here as like a placeholder for the tower. Maybe the gun turrets are on the side towers. Let's say there's a tower here, and and the goal is to get inside and plant the bomb and blow it up, right? And then there's also a tower over here. This is way too big. Anyway, there's also a tower over here, and you're trying to get through them, and naturally you'll end up hitting this one first as you come around the corner. I don't know exactly where we're going to place these, but we're working on that. The point is that we can place the towers something like, actually maybe even, yeah, okay. So in Hero Wars, which is a 1-lane MOBA, and it's got a lot of good inspiration for this because of this. I'm actually going to make these smaller because they're way too big. They're just too big to use like this. Even as just rough examples, they're still way too huge. Basically, okay, because they're making the map look small, and it's not small. It's freaking Sidewinder. It's one of the biggest maps. Let's see. Okay, so if we move this over here, and we go that way, and we delete that one, and we come in here, then we can theoretically have it something to this effect, not like this, but something like this. Something kind of like this. And then have another tower over here. And this is this team's tower. We definitely modify how this map looks. Anyway, the point is that what we can do is we can have a nav marker here, right? And this one will be named, this is for the bots. We can say base. And then we can go and name this one front line. And then with a script, we can move this one's location around the map. So the front line could be, okay, these are our towers, right? So we don't want to fight here. We want to go all the way over here and fight at these towers. So the nav point is here, right? So when the front line is set up, basically my bots are going to want to run around and go all the way to there, because that's the only other nav marker on the map, so they want to get there. So basically what we're going to do is that if the enemy destroys these towers, right, we can move it to here, and what we can actually do is place it to where we wouldn't just have these two. We'd have front line, we could have a defensive front line and an attack front line, right? And what we could do is make it to where this one is, we can say frontline attack, and the other one would be called frontline defense. So frontline defense can be moved to wherever your farthest surviving towers are located. Frontline attack can always be moved to where the enemy's farthest surviving towers are located, and these nodes could just link to each other so that if there's no enemies around this one, when the bot gets here, they'll just go, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna move on over here now. And then whenever they get here, they'll be like, okay, there's no one here. All right, well, in that case, and you know, we could theoretically put some inside the towers that this one links to because it's the attack one. And the attack one could go, okay, I'm gonna go inside that tower now. You know, and they'll go attack the tower because there's no one else here, right, to fight. And then what we can do is then move this one when those towers get destroyed to the enemy base and put its, you know, tower target locations inside the base. Like we can move this here and then put them both inside the base and what have you. So by doing this, it should allow us to make the bots move across the map alongside your AI that are spawning. The AI that spawn are then going to use the gameplay AI move zones. You know, as we all know, this move zone is going to be the base, and it needs to envelop the entire area so that they're willing to fight anyone who's in this area the moment they spawn in. This will always be the first one they go to, but this location is going to be set to time to wait 0 because we want them to immediately move on. If they don't immediately, if they spawn in and then walk over here and then it turns out that the enemy is not even here, we don't want them to just wait around here because they need reinforcements up at the front line. So they'll walk in here, they'll immediately go there, and they'll immediately move on to the next one. The next one will be all the way over here at the first towers. Again, immediately move on when you get here. We don't need you to stick around. But that means that we need to set up your AI zone. So basically this one's going to be first towers, and this is probably not going to just be, we're probably going to have more towers, like another set of towers, or one in the middle here, and then like a tower maybe in the middle there, or up on the side or something like that there, and maybe force you to go around and like sort of change up how the map is set up. We discussed putting, like this is just Sidewinder setup, but we discussed putting like cliffs coming out all the way over to here instead of having like Sidewinder, which was a bridge across the middle there. We're going to close that up instead. This is what we kind of talked about, but it's not, you know, how we're doing this isn't 100% set in stone yet on the map design and layout, but basically something like this. Let me see if I can do the rotation correct. There we go. And then another one on this side kind of thing. And then we were talking about having a bridge there. Instead of having the bridge in the middle, it would be like out here. Let me make this thinner. This is way too thick. There we go. And then we would have a bridge across the gap here, which means these towers would actually be able to be moved in much closer, might actually be effective against the people in the middle. This one will probably have its own little like platform on it, because right now I've got it like Sidewinder, which is uneven, and we might have to make this a little more mirrored. Not perfectly mirrored, but more mirrored. So we're going to move this over here. Move another copy of this over here rather. That way it's more evenly matched. Otherwise it's going to be like, oh, if you're this team, just quit. You know what I mean? We got to make it really kind of mirrored and evenly matched, or else we're going to have trouble. So there will be a hard tower to get to and one on the ground, right? So this is kind of what it's kind of implying, is that there's a tower on the ground and a tower up high. And then you've got to, and if you basically, I'm thinking if you destroy this one, your units could still get past that one and theoretically keep going. I don't know exactly how well that would work out, but something to that effect might be kind of cool as like an intended thing. But also, I don't know, maybe not. The point is that's kind of an up in the air question. Here's a little bridge I had thrown together earlier. I can plop this over here in the middle, and then I can put another one over on the other side of the map to sort of mirror it, like I was saying. And then we'll have that. Need some scripts perhaps? We do. I am sort of talking about basically what to do with this stuff first, and I'm about to start doing AI is what I'm trying to do today. Let's see, what up, Will? What are you working on now? We are working on a MOBA. I'm working on it with Glenn and with Hollywood Gaming and stuff like that. Hollywood, is it Hollywood Gaming or Hollywood something else? I just keep on calling you Hollywood, so I forgot. Let's see. Hollywood Forge, not Hollywood Gaming. What am I talking about? And we also have Z-Swell in the group. He was interested, but he hasn't actually contributed in the chat at all, and hasn't really talked about it ever since. So we're gonna find out if he's actually interested over time. I have no idea. But Z-Swell over on Twitter is, yeah, the other guy that's also sort of included. And anybody who's really good at Forge that wants to come and join in, we are still early on, though we could probably fit some more people into the team. That should roughly work. I have no weapon. So basically, like, players can take this route. This is a jungle. and stuff like that. Hollywood gaming, right? I know, right? Whenever you eventually like start making your own like Unity games or something like that, just remember I gave you the name. Let's see. Remember me. Okay, so but yeah, hey, how's it going, Conspiracy? Welcome. So we are, yeah, I know I was just answering your question already, but I forgot to say welcome. So yes, we will need scripts right now. I'm talking about how to get the bots to move how we want them to. So basically something like this, and then we would have, let's do another one. You'll be in the credits, nice. So basically, we can come over here. Oh, let's rotate this by like 15 degrees. No, that's fine, that'll work. So basically, Deep Solace, period, welcome, or comma. Let's see. So basically, we would probably want a big old zone over here to lock this down. What we also discussed, just as part of the block out, let me find a good, oh, I know exactly which one I want to do. Accents, banished. There is a specific object that looks really, that'll look really nice for this. Let's see. Garbage can open, garbage box, catwalk, containers, crate. This is just going to be a stand-in, but I love this object already. Elevator tunnel. Wait, what? Did I miss this one whenever I was going through all of them? That's cool. Elevator tunnel platform. That is really cool. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's see. Floor grading, food container. Is that them? No, it's not. Gate outpost. Okay, there's this one particular object that I scaled up the other day that looked like a good building. That, oh wait, helmet cut. I missed this one too when I was going through everything. Weird. I went straight to the table, I guess. Oh, this one will work. This isn't the one I was thinking of, but we can do this one. So we've got a jackal outpost over here, right? And we could literally just use this because you don't have to go inside. I don't know, but the point is, but we got a jackal outpost over here. This is a computer terminal. It's got like buttons and stuff like that. We're not going to use it for that. For this particular blockout thingy that I'm doing. Basically, this is a mercenary, or we could do it in the middle of that. But basically, this is a mercenary spawn point, right? If you come out here and you spend your currency, it will spawn 2 jackals and they'll go and join your squad immediately. And it doesn't have to walk all the way from your base anymore. They start out here and immediately go up to the front lines, right? So the front lines are right there. You could just immediately have brand new troops to add, and each player can spawn 2 jackals, and so you could have all 3 of people on your team could come over here and spawn 2 jackals at one time, and then charge in with them as reinforcements to be players fighting and jackals as reinforcements to be really cool. We're choosing jackals because they're canonically mercenary pirates. This is just stuff we're talking about though. I know, Clint, I know you might have missed the streams we were talking about this on. It was literally just one other stream. We just like brainstormed a whole bunch. Map file saved to, or failed to save. There we go. But if you have any disagreement with any of this, let me know, and we can change it and stuff like that. We were just discussing. I actually have it in the thing at the very beginning of this stream. I talked about this, but in here in our Discord, where we were talking about the MOBA, I created this and talked about numbers. Since we have so many people in the chat right now, I guess I'm going to talk about it real quick because it's part of the main game design. Mathematically, it works best as a 3v3, if that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense to everybody, and I'm going to show you why that's the case. But we have 24 total players and/or Spartan bots with 32 total campaign AI, right? And they count separately, right? I just make scripts. I'll follow your orders. Okay, Clint, cool. I appreciate that. Me and Hollywood's orders, because we've been both brainstorming. I know, but yeah. So if we make it 3v3 teams, we'll have 1 player to push the lane, right? And 1 for each jungle on each side of the lane, right? So you could theoretically have snipers on the hills and sniping down, or like just battle rifles or anything like that, supporting from above, or everyone can go down the middle lane. It doesn't matter. The point is that mathematically, if we have 3 people on a team, you can handle the single lane and the cliffs, right? It'll give us a well-balanced number of bots as well, and campaign AI units to fill out the match for each team. With 32 AI, we got 16 per team. With a player count of 6 taken away from our 24, we have 18 bots total to use as just bots, right? And then so dividing that by 9 for each team this divides nicely because we could have 3 AI and 1 one Spartan bot assigned to each player as their mob squad, right? And then whenever you level them up, you can spend resources to level them up, and they'll become stronger as your squad. So unlike League of Legends, which just has neutral mobs, like team mobs, where they just send out the same mobs along each path and stuff like that, you would have your mobs are your dedicated squad, and whenever they respawn, they'll always be what your class kind of designates what you get. And so basically, in the end, what that means is basically you'll be able to have like unique mobs per match and stuff like that, and everything will work really pretty differently. But it includes one that may attempt objectives, by the way, because we have the Spartan bot there. If we can get the Spartan bots to do the objectives, like attempt to destroy the towers, which is something that Hollywood Forge was looking at, was how to destroy the towers by activating a switch, and then it makes you hold a ball for a limited amount of time. While you're holding the ball, it's like a countdown timer. If you leave the area, then you're not in the area anymore, so then the timer stops, and so you have to stay inside the area with the ball, and the ball acts like a bomb, and then whenever you're done, it sort of like plants it, and it destroys the tower you're in. So it's like an objective mode, rather than like League of Legends where you're just shooting at it until it blows up, right? And then, so essentially, we end up with what you and I were talking about, Glenn, back in the day on our operations thing, where we were talking about planting, using fusion coils to do it, because that way you have to carry it all the way to the location, and you can decide to abandon your objective and just chuck it at another player and kill him instantly. But we're going to do it. We could actually still go back to that if you guys prefer that, by the way. I forgot to mention that to you, Hollywood Forge. You essentially Valorant spike plant the towers. Yes, exactly. Essentially like that. And rather than having to carry the bomb all the way from base, you can still fight and play and clear enemy mobs. You just activate it whenever you're there. But we did talk about, Clint and I, with the other game mode that we were making a while back, and we can just leave this to that game mode, was that while you're carrying, if you instead have to carry a fusion coil up there as the bomb, then you could, like I said, at some point you could just go, wait, I'm going to die, and just chuck it straight at somebody, and it'll just blow up and kill them, right? And then you can sort of save yourself, and then you have no shields or something like that. But I think that it's best to do it like the Valorant spike for this particular game mode, because that means you're constantly able to use your power-ups and stuff like that. Unbroken Onyx is here. YOLO, welcome! Yes, I think when the tower is destroyed, it should drop a power seed that you could plant in some sort of mid-base to power up your mobs, and the other team could steal it back. Ooh! If you could do that, you could plant it. Yeah, or like create an energy shields? What if we, like, there are the energy shields, right? They're like no one uses, but they're really cool, right? There's, where are they? Can we use a script to spawn the, like no one ever uses these. What is it? Sandbox? Sandbox. Shield emitter. These are really cool. Oops, I have not told it not to spawn bots, and they're gonna start shooting at me because I didn't set a team to them. I think they're enemies. Okay, anyway. Okay, so this, I think is... Okay, this is never... It's a block. It's a blocker. Never mind. How do you turn these off? Do you have to script them to turn them off? Or do you have to... Can you interact with them? Please stop shooting me. Anyway, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we can't use these. Anyway, it'd be kind of cool to use these and turn them off and delete... Or like spawn them or something like that. Or delete them in some way. That might be something we would do involving the towers. So, like the gate captain, we can use this to keep players from getting inside the towers because you have to kill a gate captain. I haven't gotten to that yet. Let me explain that to you, because especially to Clint, who's just kind of has to know how this works too. So what I was saying was 3 AI, 1 Spartan bot for each player, so they each have their own dedicated mod squad, including 1 that can attempt objectives because they're a Spartan bot, right? For each team, this would leave 4 Spartan bots for turrets. So we would move them back from the active towers. Your current towers are at the front. Oh, you need to leave? No! Okay, well, if you gotta leave, you gotta leave. But I'll just say real quick, we were gonna say gate captains, it could be at each tower, and every time they get killed, whenever they respawn stronger, and so the gate captains sort of get stronger and stronger, and it's harder and harder to take out that tower if you don't succeed the first time, and then once you do finally succeed, you're like, thank God, and then you move on to the next tower, and it's back, and that one's back to grunts as the gate captain or something like that again. So, like, yeah, it would be kind of cool. But you could script it on/off. You could use those to block off jungle routes / vehicle routes. Yeah, and we can also use them as like the entryway to the tower until the gate captain dies, right? While the gate captain's dead, the tower the energy shield gets destroyed. As soon as the gate captain respawns, that respawns, and we've got the energy barrier there again. Clint, I have a fully arted pic of the towers with guards in the Discord. Oh, nice. Yes, that's right. Yes. In fact, I can show as well. Where was that? In MOBA chat bot? Oh my god, those grunts are still out there. Here we go. This was how he's got scripted. You activate it, you have to hold the bomb for a little bit of time, and then boom, it's planted, your bomb is planted, and the tower is destroyed. It says bomb plant at the top of the screen and everything. Bomb down. So basically, yeah, and then you destroy that tower. And there's that gun turret on top is going to be manned by a bot. What we've got here for our number, right? 4 Spartan bots for turrets, I think per team, right? For each team. This would leave 4 Spartan bots for turrets. That's 8 of our Spartan bots. 8 of our 9 Spartan bots on the team. Each team has 9. 4 of those would be for turrets. So what we could do is that we have towers. We have these towers we were talking about, and each tower has a vehicle, has a gun goose, razorback, rocket scorpion, where is it? Shade turret. Has a shade turret on top, you know? Like, I know this is not the right size at all. There's no way this guy would shoot anybody from up here. But he's got a shade turret on top of his tower, right? This enormous tower. And we just populate a bot. We put a bot straight in there, right? And then I am up. And my internet is actually working. Welcome, Clan. Rip Shade. I almost called you Clan. Let's see. Okay, come on now. Please let me normal. These can't be set to non. Oh my god. Okay, I guess you can't duplicate those very easily. Okay? Apparently they just like glitch out. I was gonna set them to the no physics that they have as the new mode, but I guess that's not a thing you can do to vehicles. Okay, so every tower has one of these. That's 2 of this team's bots, right? And then we could have, where is it? There we go. And then we could have like one in like a central tower back here. Maybe on here. I'm just gonna duplicate this, and on this tower I'm gonna scale it down even more so it looks a little more reasonable. And we can put it up on this platform here in the middle, and we can put this here. And do something like that, and then we put a bot on it, right? And then finally one more in the base. But actually what we can do is we could actually do it to where we could theoretically put like 4 in the base, and every time one of those other towers gets destroyed, it moves the bot into one of the ones at the base. Or another idea is we could do 2 of these per base, and then you can only attack the front base. Like I was thinking about this before, we could do a one-way blocker or something like that, or a team blocker rather, that only blocks the opposing team, and it's not until they destroy these 2 towers that the team is allowed to even attempt the next tower, right? This is sort of Sidewinder on steroids right now, except for it's sort of like a rough, nasty blockout of Sidewinder being put to steroids, with, I just realized, a somewhat phallic object in the middle here. Anyway, so basically, and I'm filling it with towers too, more phallic object. Anyway, okay, so the point is that we could theoretically gate it to where this could be 2 towers or 3 towers or however many we need to do it, and like the tower is really the target point you want to blow up. We could do something like the gate is where you need to destroy. The towers are what have turrets on top. So the towers could be on the sides and have a gate in the middle, and that gate could generate an energy barrier that blocks off the entire area for the opposing team to where they can't get through until they take down that tower, right? Kind of like, oh boy. Ugh. YouTube, move. Like, do not make me listen to this stuff. Oh, I gotta turn off AdBlock Plus these days. How are our recommendations today? I don't even know because I'm not looking at them. Anyway, so basically, what that means is, so basically what I'm saying is we have 4 Spartan bots for turrets, and we can figure out what to do with them. I hate the ads on YouTube, I know, right? And now they are like forcing you to with the AdBlock Plus being blocked out. So basically, yeah. So we could do something like 2 turrets at the front, and you have to engage these towers now. Once you get through those towers, it opens up more jungle. It opens up the center path. You can move to the next tower, and whenever that happens, it moves all 4 bots to the next 4 turrets. And that's only if like the turrets are weak enough, or not overpowered, because if you have 4 turrets in a location, shade turrets are really powerful. So like we could get like players could get mowed down by those turrets and never make a dent in the tower. But it might be right. We gotta. That's where the balancing is going to come into play. Maybe the first two towers only have 2, or the first like gate only has like 2 towers, and they've got 2 turrets on them, and then the next gate has like 3, and then the base has 4. We could do something like that. But anyway, the point is, where is that shade vehicle in Halo 2? I wish that vehicle was in Halo 2. Oh, you're talking about the Spectre from Halo 2. I wish we had the Spectre from Halo 2. That'd be amazing. The shade turrets were the turrets that were in Halo 1, and then they weren't even in Halo 2. They had like the little gun turrets. But anyway, so the one okay, so then that will leave us, by the way, with all this math, as 1 additional AI for a campaign, 1 additional campaign AI that we can drop at the gates, right, as the gate captain, and level it up over time. With Hollywood Forge's plan. It also leaves us another, for leveling up, also leaves another 6 campaign II for super units and or mercenaries. So at your base, you could buy 2 hunters and they'll run out there as super units. Or at the mercenary camp, you can buy 2 jackals and they'll run out there as reinforcements, right, that are out there in the middle of the map already. 2 is perfect for a hunter pair or jackal duo, which works great since we were discussing hunters and super units and jackal as for super units and jackals as mercenaries. You can purchase at a halfway point across the map. This also leaves us another 2 Spartan bots per team. We can spawn in at Spartan difficulty level to fill the role of any missing players, so teams are more close to even. If there is 1 player on a team, we can spawn in 2 extra Spartan bots, and we just give them, see, the classes right here that we were talking about that would have the drop pod power and the trooper command power and the squad command power. Those are very powerful things, right? But we can't give them to you. I mean, we can't give those to the bots because they won't know how to use them. They're custom equipment. So we have to give, but if we assign them only the classes down here, Rogue, Berserker, maybe, and the other one for Translocator, which I don't know what to call, but Guardian. Wait, Knight, right? Like a Promethean Knight? That's what we should call it. Guardian works too, but I think Knight. Unlimited, let's see, unlimited, what is it called? Quantum Translocator, QT. And then we can name this one, at least for now, temporarily, unless you guys hate this, and we can change it later. We can name this one, Knight. Oh right, that's not what I need to edit. It's this one. Value Knight. So the quantum translocator, like a Promethean Knight, you can teleport around the map, and you have unlimited, so you're just like spawning. You have it. Ripshade sent something in Discord. Also other stuff. No, not the Spectre, but that vehicle transport thing that drops off vehicles but had a turret on top. I love the Spectre though. I know what you're talking about. Was that called a shade as well, or a shadow? Was that called a shadow maybe? Is that what you called it? Where's the shade vehicle? Oh, the vehicle that had a shade turret on top. That's why you're calling it a shade vehicle. I understand now. Yes, this thing. Yeah. It had a shade turret on top. You're right. The shadow is, I think these were called shadows, right? Wait, hold on. True vehicle transport, also known as the shadow. Yes, okay, yeah. These were called shadows, which also works with the whole shade thing. Yeah, these were awesome. That would be amazing. If we could spawn them in these and have them drive along, that would be amazing too. Anyway, that would be a cool object spawner. So this would be unlimited. So these are the classes, and we have an additional one here that we can make up a power and give you this custom equipment for it. So basically, we've got these are all the classes, and if we give these to the Spartan bots and we set them to Spartan AI skill difficulty level instead of like Marine or whatever, then they can take the place of a player that has these abilities, and they'll slowly level up and all that kind of stuff and get more and more power, and that'll work, I think. Shadow sounds right, yeah. And let's see, imagine it dropping off vehicles too. I know, right? Imagine if we could spawn one of those in, and it would spawn in like at one of these kinds of locations, or just like you'd place it and it would work just like, it would look like a phantom spawner. Where is it? Right there. It would look like a phantom spawner because it would have like the vehicle image there, and then like it would just sort of fade into existence like it was spawned at one of these on the ground. One of these regular ground spawners, and then once it's in, it would start driving to the next destination, like a unit in a vehicle. Would just be amazing. Is it just my imagination, or has your watcher base increased by a lot by season 5? It has been. Ever since we said we were doing MOBA, everyone's really interested in seeing. I think everyone's also interested in seeing how the AI works, because I figured out how it works by looking. Just immediately kind of figured it out whenever I saw how they were doing it. I was like, I know exactly how that works. I know exactly how to make that script and all that kind of stuff. I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, so this right here is the commander ability, by the way. This is what this is the effect of the commander would be, the commander, which would allow you to drop that smoke, pop a smoke, and that's where your troops will deploy on dropship. And as you level up, eventually your dropship will have gun turrets attached to it. If we can figure out how to make that happen. Maybe I should start streaming again. Yeah, I think you should. That'd be awesome. I mean, honestly, if you just keep at it, streaming is like you keep at it and you just keep getting followers over time as people discover you, because there are people out there who want to watch you stream, no matter who you are, obviously, because people are watching me and I just on Forge doing stuff. But like, wait, where did that thing go? Wasn't there? Oh wait, is this it? Yeah, it's over here. Never mind. It's right here. So like literally, I think that it's just a matter of like working hard, and then just like it's how fast you grow is determined on how good you are, or what game you're playing, or like, you know, how entertaining your personality is. That's like, those are unquantifiable unless you pick a game that's really popular. You know what I mean? Need a mic though? Yeah, that would be a good idea. This mic was on sale for $80 whenever I got it, and I can't compliment it enough and refer it enough. It's called the H1N Handy Receiver. If it is still on, I think it was on sale down to $80. If it's not on sale, it might be like $130, I think it was. So if you watch it for like a Black Friday sale or something like that, or Cyber Monday, then you might be able to get this mic with that, and it's a really good mic. Like, it can pick up my voice really well if I actually go close enough to it, and I could go really, really deep, and it'll pick up that too. And it'll like go, like, no matter what I do, it picks up. And it's got two mics in it that are sort of crossed like this, so it actually picks up a left ear and a right ear. So if you're in headphones right now, you'd be hearing me move from one ear to the other. And it's like, it's a really good mic for very inexpensive. It's high quality, and I was referred to it by another YouTuber. Her name is Dale Kingsmill. She reverted everyone that watches her to it because it's really good. Back at the beginning of COVID, she was like, yeah, if you need a mic for any reason, like COVID, what do you call it, Zoom calls, then, this is a really good one. Go ahead and get this one. It's also really cool because it's portable. It's actually a portable recorder that doubles as a mic. You plug it into your computer and it goes into microphone mode, but it's a portable recorder, so you can just be on the go and then just like talk into it. You're on Xbox. Doesn't Xbox take mics too? This is just a USB mic. I think Xbox takes USB mics because it has USB ports. I think, right? Doesn't it? If not, then I guess you're gonna have to use a mic that doesn't plug in this way. I don't think this goes in with a normal like microphone jack. I don't see a port for it. If it does, no, maybe not. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on it out because I was planning on getting a PC. Yeah, the other idea is you could just record yourself and then do voiceover with a good microphone on your computer. Anyway, like afterward, and edit it and stuff like that. But that would require a lot of editing. So, anyway, what were we talking about? We were talking about. Well, let me save it real quick because I don't know what I've done since I last saved. Bots. So basically, what I was planning on doing today was scripting these. That's what it was. I just need to zoom in. Excuse me. Okay, so what I was thinking was, right, so we can have these and make them, we'll just float them in the middle of the map and name this one. I wonder how much budget these take up. I don't think they take up a lot because they don't actually do anything until you trigger them. So they probably don't take up a lot of Forge. The game simulation, it might take up game simulation, but like it's not doing anything until you tell it to do something. So these probably don't take up a huge amount of, they might take up like dynamic object budget, but probably very inexpensive if I had to guess. But I don't know. Collision, physics, animations, movers, reflection volumes. Yeah, I don't see probe count. No, okay. So we might be able to do a whole bunch of these. I guess I could just duplicate it a whole bunch and see if it messes with the budget. How's our budget? Yeah, 21% with this many of them. Yeah, that didn't really go up much by these things at all. Okay, so these things are not super expensive. I don't even know how many I placed. I'm going to go ahead and select all. Where is that? Where's my select all? There it is. Select all of. I have 16 on the map, and it went up by like 1 more extra percent. So let's remove these since I can have them in there in a good spot. And I have a lot of objects selected. It's not dropping my frames per second until I just moved really fast, so that's good. But we're just going to delete them anyway. Okay. Oh, there's insufficient disk space on my computer for recording. Okay, that just means OBS is not recording anymore. Okay, I didn't mean to delete all of those. I should have left one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, these are going to be defined. These are going to be user-defined, or like pre-defined before, like by us right now, right? And we can come back in here and tweak how this works to do balancing later. So your default spawn is going to probably be, I would say everyone's going to spawn with grunts, except for, I think that we should probably give one of the classes a marine at start, probably as a balancing act, because the quantum translocator class, I think. Because the quantum translocator class is only as strong as the enemy is distracted. Because if they're more distracted, you teleporting around makes you stronger. So we're gonna, I think we should start them off with 2 grunts and one marine. Everyone else starts off with just grunts, right? And we can do different levels of grunt potentially, but I think that we should probably just start everyone off with grunts. And then as you level them up to make them more powerful, they become more powerful units. So grunt, conscript, yellow is the default one at the top. We'll do another yellow and then a blue. Grunt, or we could even do one team. No, I don't want to do. Never mind. I was gonna say we do the other team is blue and these are yellow, but I realized we don't want to do that because that would require me to make more of these. Because what we can do is actually just say anyone who is a rogue gets these assigned to them on both teams. We just grab from this and assign it to that player's squad. So what we can do is this, and then what we do is we can change these. Like I said, I'm going to turn the blue one, instead of just being a blue, I'm going to make it a marine. I think. Skimmers? I forgot skimmers exist! That's a whole other unit I forgot about. What are you guys saying? Unimike, hi. Yeah, oh, that's good. I'm on Xbox. Okay, never mind. I thought there was new messages. Did I miss anything? There's going to be a top-down view. Oh, so is it going to be a top-down view? Nah, you can't do top-down view, unfortunately. But I want to run around and be a Spartan in this anyway, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Skimmer Loyalist, Skimmer Ultra. So, I forgot about the Skimmers. Oh my gosh, they're going to be, like, EMP units. That might be a power unit you'd spawn, because we can set the skimmers up with like electrical units, and if you purchase them and then it adds them to your squad, then they would go out and they would be able to EMP enemy vehicles. So if your enemy purchases like a tank, which will cost so much resource that, so many resources that they're not going to be able to purchase hunters anytime soon or level up their units, then they're going to come in a tank and start blowing everything up, and throwing skimmers out there will EMP the enemy tank faster. So, and they hover, so they'll also be harder to hit with the tank explosion, because they're off the ground. So like the blast radius of the explosion hitting the ground comes up at them, you know what I mean, where instead of coming straight to the side at them. So that might be a good idea to do that. Anyway, Marine Survivor, Scout, Marine Heavy, Marine Demolition. Whoa, I didn't even know we had so many Marines. I think Survivor is the basic, right? That's the one that's like just in a t-shirt. And that's it. Like you just have 3, right? And then what we do is we keep on creating these and assigning them, and whenever you have a level up, we can just assign it in the script and say grab this one. And we can make generic level ups and then start making more specific ones. Like for example, actually could we just override like 1 unit and make a generic one for each level and then override 1 or 2 units? Maybe. I don't know. I think this is pretty good though. So basically what we're doing here is we're just making templates, right? So if we go with a grunt conscript, I need to see if these spawns. I just realized, because the other ones did spawn in automatically, but these are outside of the nav mesh, so it would... Wait, is there a nav mesh at all? Did I... Oh, that's right, because Photography Studio, Chairman Ninja, he was about to bake the nav mesh and I stopped him. So I don't know if we actually even have a nav mesh. Yeah, we don't have a nav mesh. That's why those grunts didn't chase after me earlier. So I am going to bake the nav mesh now because I am ready for that. Well, not really super ready for it, but I'm ready enough for this. Not audio, nav mesh. And then what we'll do, that'll allow us to see if these things will, since they're so high off the ground, they may not spawn units. And I need to test that. I need to see if that works. But yeah, I know it's getting really late for people to continue watching, but yeah. Let's see. By the way, I still don't know. I know some, like Ripshade, you're over on Kick, but I can't even see my own Kick stream. Like, let me show you. I don't know if you're still here or not at the time, because look, this is what I'm seeing on Kick. And when I try to refresh, it's the same thing. This is my creator dashboard. And then whenever I go back to my stream, it does this. It'll tell me one viewer down here, and that's it. And then it's not loading in. And I don't have any idea why this is happening, but for some reason I can't do anything on Kick. So I was hoping to go to my creator dashboard. So I don't know if I'm going to be able, I'm not going to be able to host anybody later for sure, even if I have enough people, because yeah, Kick is messed up. I was going to say Discord. Did I talk about everything about these numbers? Right, so you can buy mercenaries, 2 for each player, for hunter pairs or jackal duos. So you could also do skirmishers, 2 skirmishers. It also leaves us another 22 Spartan bots per team, so we can replace players with Spartan bots. We'll have 4 total, which means if you play cooperatively, just you and a team, 1 team member against 4 to fill in your extra person and the 3 on the enemy team. Bots, you know, like unite, we can actually sign that. So mathematically, I think this is best for 3 versus 3 because it makes it. Ooh, I hope I saved. That was interesting. Baking nav mesh. Oh, I didn't put any cutters, any nav mesh cutters. There's a lot of blank space on this map, and it's such a big map. I need to cut into the entire map before, or else it's going to cause bugs like that. That makes sense. Dang. Oof. Well, that crashed the map. But yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking is we can put a bunch of them up there and the team will just pull it and assign it to the player as they level up. And they can just like, let's see if it's still up there. Did I save these? I did, okay. So like we can name this one, for example, can we, wait, can you not name a squad? Oh, weird. Movement, direction, world, snap. I'm in the wrong thing. There it is. Okay. Generic level 1, and then this one would be just like knight level 1, right? We can do this kind of thing where the knight has a special start, level 1, and then over here this one can be, I think, what I said in here, I don't think I changed anything. Grunt Conscript, Marine Survivor, right? So what we can do, for example, is we can say, okay, well, you are the, let's say this is the brute, let's see, brute miner, brute commando chosen, brute chieftain, brute, where's the brute, berserker, there we go. A brute berserker at level 2 for the berserker class, right? So like then we would come up here and we would just name this as berserker level 2, right? And then by creating a series of levels, then we created level 3 for the berserker, and we figure out what we want to put in with that one. And then so whenever the berserker levels up their unit, we might give them, let's just switch it to all berserkers, brute berserker. They're just like melee chargers. They just charge in and try to beat everyone up. We'll do 2 berserkers and actually one like brute. Where's the basic brute that's like really weak? Brute. Let's see. Brute berserker, chosen, chieftain, commando is like their drop ones, right? Brute miner. There it is. 1 brute miner, 2 brute berserkers, so they have 1 ranged support unit. And we can even set what weapon they have, for example, to mangler, because this is the berserker, this is about the melee, right? So then we can have another one and name this one berserker level 4 and give them switch one of these Brute Berserkers to a Brute Berserker Chosen, where they've got the extra powerful overshield, like energy shields, or like overshields. Something like this, and then eventually we might even, let's say, if I don't know how far we're going to go with leveling up, but if the next one is level 5, and we go to Brute Miner, Brute Berserker, and by the way, we're going to put all of these into a prefab, and we're just going to say grab the one at index this one, like if level 2, then grab one at index 2. That kind of thing. And it'll be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Yeah, so we got Brute Berserker, Chosen, and then we could theoretically go and replace this Brute Miner with a Brute, let's say, Chieftain. Where's the one that's... Actually, can we do... Yeah, Brute Chieftain is the one. That's Brute Chieftain Chosen. I summon that thing. That's really powerful already. I want to just find the regular... Oh, that's it. Brute Chieftain. What? I don't know why I didn't see that. So rather than have any range, he's now got 2 Berserkers and a Brute Chieftain with a Warhammer, right? With a Gravity Hammer. So at this point, the Berserker has gone full Berserker, because at this level, the other classes will have good enough ranged units that the Berserker doesn't need ranged units anymore at all. They can go full melee, right? That's the thing. That's what my thinking is. And then at this point, they've got Berserkers that move really fast, so they'll get in there fast. They'll distract the enemy, so the ranged units of other players are now supported by, are playing as support for these Berserkers. So this is the Berserker class, and they've got Berserker units. Basically, that's we don't. This isn't balanced yet, but this is a good example of what I'm talking about. And what we would do is we would say Berserker class at level 1 would just be given the default, right? Probably just be given the generic all grunts. Level up and they get a Berserker. So this is, at level 2 is whenever we start grabbing from this. At level 2, index 1 is level 2's units. At level 3, we grab from index 2. At level 4, we grab from index 3. And then at level 5, we grab from index 4, right? And then in the script, that's all we got to do. And then whenever we do that, it's when they spawn, we grab this, we override their spawn, and we spawn those units. And then every single time you go to respawn, it'll try to respawn your current one. That way, if you level them up between spawns, then they won't level up immediately. They'll level up the next time they respawn, right? So your current units won't level up immediately, but the moment they respawn is whenever they'll level up. So we would have like a let's say accents. No, not accents. And then there's like workstations. There we go. So let's say there's a holo table. That sounds cool for a computer object looking thing. So like there's a computer object that allows you to go and purchase an upgrade to your unit. We might even be able to do like a float, like a number above it, and like it'll be like a little hologram effect, and then suddenly a number will appear above it that'll tell you what level you just brought your bot to. So we just spawn, and despawn. So like you level up your unit to like level 2. Your unit's level 2, you'll spawn a level 2 to indicate that you just got to level 2. You come over here again, you spend points, and you can replace that level up, decal with the level 3. And we can do that, it'll just stay there for a couple seconds and then delete itself and then let the next person do it. And just be a little generic activation object. And if we put a, let's say, Unic... where is this one? This is literally what I was looking for. This behind it, then we can make it to where they have to view the holo table from one side, and instead of being able to see it from both sides. And that means that they won't accidentally see the decal from behind. They'll always come up to activate it from here, and when they activate it, they'll see the decal. And we can even artistically position it so that the players are more likely to, if it's inside the base, and we put it like on that wall over here, on this opposite wall over here, then they'll be more likely to come into the base, like if it was inside there, and I entered the door and I came in around the corner, they'd come up to this switch more likely than not, and then we can angle the arrow, the numbers a little bit toward this direction even. So like, yeah, artistically we can make that happen, and that would be how you like upgrade your units, something to that effect. And then you can purchase jackals over here, which they need a spawn, come to think of it. So let's go ahead and create a squad for that. And then once we spawn them in, and then we add them to your active squad, we'll be able to spawn more at the location. So, like, it shouldn't block us or anything. Man, they sure were right in that thing whenever they wanted to put no collision on this thing. So, yeah. It's not phased, it's no collision, which is good. It's different. Alright, so there we have jackals would spawn coming, sort of like looking like they're coming out of a doorway. This would not be necessarily the object, but if we wanted to, we could, and then it's good enough looking that you wouldn't be allowed inside the jackal place. You just buy from them. You just buy, you know, reinforcements from there. It would also be really cool to be fighting over this, like if like you come over here, like we could theoretically make it to where there's a countdown timer after someone buys from this that makes it to where you cannot buy another one until that countdown timer cools off, right? And then that way you actually do want to, like, if you come over here and you're waiting like 30 seconds for the next one, like let's say you and an ally come over here and one of them buys it and then like 15 seconds later the other one wants to be able to buy it, so they wait and they're sort of like doing, you know, sniper support until then like another player, an enemy player comes up, you could be fighting over the respawn, but you know, there's no telling. Maybe we should just do it instant. That'll be like a balancing thing. But yeah, I'm just like all over the place now. I know I'm talking really fast. Let's see. So we've got our 3 spawns, and this one would be assigned to like player 1. Let's go with well, it's not player 1. I don't know how to. We'd have to assign it to the teams. And yeah, it doesn't matter which one of these it is, because we can just like in the script we can just say, okay, so at the beginning, this is actually kind of important. Let me get these nodes. At the very beginning of the match, we need to assign these to a player, right? So we need to go and say, we need an object, a squad, add node, we need a squad variable. Declare squad variable. And that needs to be players squad, or base spawn. Base squad spawn, and that's like where your squad spawns. It is an object variable, and we're going to assign to the player with a script. Add node on round start. Events on round start. We are going to say set variables advanced, set squad variable, and the squad variable is going to be this one, which is going to be, did I have something in Control C that I was looking? No, I have these waiting to be placed. That's what I'm thinking of. We hit this, Control C, and we go here, and we hit add, let's see. Oh, right. No, we go here. We go identifier, Control V, value, scope, object. Okay, so get set squad variable. How does this thing exactly work? What am I plugging into this and where? Set squad variable stored with the matching identifier in the matching scope. The object pin is only used when access. Oh, right. What am I talking about? We're assigning this to an object because scope is object. Right, that's, my brain was not working. This is just like any other, object. Like any other, squad to this object, which is going to be on an object, on a player. We actually need to clear that. We need to say on round start, add node for each player. Players for, logic, for each player. Oh, wait. Is a player and not a bot. Let's see. For each player, add node. I almost just made it for all of them. We don't want to give the bots these things. Logic, compare, math, objects. Oh, no, but if we do, wait. The players that would be replacing... Oh, my God. This is hard to think about because I'm trying to think of... Oof. So, if we want bots to fill the role as players, we would have to make a different script that figures out that there's not enough players in the match and then fills in those players. Maybe we shouldn't do that, and we should just spawn units as if there's a player and level them up and just let the team be outnumbered. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out because then players won't be able to join the match in progress. So you'd have to get 6 players into your match because we couldn't just like know there's a player trying to join and then delete a bot. Ugh. I always forget about that. Okay, so anyway, logic. That's just going to be a slight, you know, hurdle that will be for us to figure out. Actually, there will be plenty of times that a bot will be dead. You could probably get a script that that figures out a player is there and sort of assigns everything to them as if they just joined. That should work. It'll be challenging. It'll be weird. Anyway, okay, object. Okay, for each player, let's see, player script. That's what I need to figure out. I know I'm just randomly rambling to myself at the moment there. Is get all players on team. Let's see, get is player. Turns true if the object is a player. No, because bots count as that. Is bot. How do we do get is... there's a way to get is bot, right? Get player team, get respawn penalty, get player camo. Returns the additional penalty applied to the player beyond the game mode's default respawning setting. Oh, okay, I see. That's for timer. Get player team, get player free-for-all agents, get player aiming vector. What is get player... There's some way to tell if it's a bot, right? Unblock respawns for player, teleport player. Get is bot is in bots. Ah, and there's not a get is human player. There's get is bots. Okay, get is bot. So if the current player, we got to do a branch. We need to do a logic. And we do a branch. There is a get is player, and that is in players. But I think that counts for bot. That will grab bots, right, and count them as players. So I think that this is the way to go. I think you're right. Okay, so get is bot, right? If that is false, then it's a player. So we set the squad variable, and we basically, for that player, we assign a squad. Now we've got to iterate through all of these squad objects. I didn't have enough references. I need to have the others as well. The other side of the map as well. If we put these over here, then we can then say, okay, those vehicle spawns were only there so I could identify how big the map was. They're not going to be there in the actual game. I don't think we're spawning in all these warthogs. But let's see. So these need a reference as well. Add object reference for these three. Okay, so no, wait, I'm dumb. Okay, hold on. What we do is, we need to separate these by team. Yes. Okay. So these have to be a prefab, and these have to be a prefab. I almost made them all one prefab, and then I realized that we wouldn't be able to set them by team in that case. Okay, so these three, right? Basically versus these three. This is Cobra team because this is red on Sidewinder. So basically, we actually need this thing's reference. So we need to. Those are all prefabs now. Let's add an object reference that's clean for, just to make sure that doesn't cause any bugs. The fact that these were individual objects before and now they're prefabs. I don't want to cause any like weird issues. And then we come over here and we select this one, and we go in here and we set, let's see, add object reference. And then the other idea is that we can actually do these by label. That might be a better idea. Yeah. Get object by label. Can we iterate through them? Can we put them to a list and then switch through them by index? They're already listed if they're a prefab, and I don't think we need to worry about it not being a prefab. But that does mean that it'll be harder to like grab them individually. I think we should do this by label. Never mind. I think we should do this by label because it'll be harder to if we want to. Where is it? Can you? Oh, there it is. Labels. There we go. Let's see. User defined. Let's go with C for Cobra and E for Eagle. So this would be Eagle team. User defined Eagle Echo. User defined Echo. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab these by their what do you call it? Their label, right? Echo or Charlie. And what we're gonna do is we're then going to go through them, like turn them into a list, go through them really fast with our index, you know, by index, and assign a player to each of them. Or rather assign them to a player. We're gonna put them into a player, we're gonna grab the player and assign them on based on their team, which channel we're gonna go through. So what we're gonna do is we're going to say, so we've got that for each side. We're going to need to redo our references again, back to having all 6 of them. Let's see. And I think, no, we're going to grab objects. Yeah, we don't even need to have references. We're just going to grab objects by their, yeah, we don't need any object references at all for this particular thing. Yeah, okay, so for each object, we are going to, you know, yeah, set squad variable. We're not going to set the squad variable. We are going to, hold on, we need to make it a logic, events custom. We're going to trigger a custom event global async. We're going to split this off. This is going to go inside of this custom event. We're going to go, if they are not a bot, then we trigger this. And then we're going to pass the current player as the object. Oh, yeah, you're right, it's getting late. And then we're going to add a node on custom event global async, and we're going to say we need to find out basically what team they're on. Players, where's player? Players, get player team. Okay, get player team, and then we gotta say we gotta do a compare. I think compare teams. Let's see, compare. Where's compare? It's at the very top, isn't it? No. Oh, it's logic compare. Logic compare teams. And we're going to say, okay, if we're going to do a little bit of a branch here. That's the actual, whoop, what is going on here? Move that down there. Get it out the way. Okay. So the branch is, if it's true, we're going to assume that they are on Eagle team. We'll say that. If it's true, set squad variable to, you know, yada. And then duplicate, and if false, we're going to do that. We also need to set them to a list, like I said, which probably will happen up here, because we need to create the list and then pass the list. And then it'll grab the index at the list, because if it doesn't happen up here, it might recreate the list every time, and then from the, you know, from the user-defined Cobra or whatever. Oh, but that means it won't be doing both teams. So if it's true, do we just need to create a list at the very beginning of the game, just off of those things? Because we could just grab that list variable later, if that's the case. That would work too. Anyway, get player team. The player is the object, so it's being passed in. We're going to compare these. If A equals B, if it's true, then that. So basically, we need to get add node. We need a team variable. Variable's basic team, and we need to set this to Eagle team. So if this is Eagle team, oh wait, we already have that. It's out there. If this is Eagle team, defenders, then if this is set to Eagle, if this comes out to Eagle team, then true, it'll go this way. If false, it'll go this way. So, and then what we're gonna do is actually grab at index. Would that be get? Let's see. Oh wait, no, we're gonna be getting for the value, right? That's where the index comes in. The object we're gonna push into it, or the squad object. So we're gonna get would be get squad variable. Oh, huh. Oh, get object at index. That's all we need to do. Get object at index. Get right. Get object, because we know that what's going to be in the list is going to all be the squad. Get object variable. Get object list. There's get object at index. That's not in here, is it? That's not in variables at all. That's in is it in logic? Where's get object? Oh, it's in objects. Duh. Get object at index. Right. So we're going to create a list off there. We're going to get object and index. We're going to put it in as the object. And our index is going to be based on iterated number, which is going to be here. So our index number is going to be there. Yeah, so then we're going to have to iterate the number here and pass it into here. Okay, so I think I know what's going on. We're almost done with this thing, but I gotta go to bed. Well, not just to bed, but just like put kids to bed and all sorts of stuff, because apparently everyone's still awake. And I streamed very, very late today, so we're almost there. I think, like Clint, I'm sure if he watches this back, he'll probably see where I'm going with this. He might have some suggestions on how to make it even better. But basically, get object at index is going to also apply here, because I'm going to index it. I'm going to iterate the index. Wait, can I do that? No, maybe not. Oh, that's interesting. If I iterate the index here... Okay, yeah, no, I'm going to have to do something very different about this. I can't plug it in here because the index needs to be set differently. Okay, anyway, we're going to get this figured out. But the point is that I'm kind of like, I need to sit down and think about this tomorrow, probably, while my daughter is doing her schoolwork next to me. But in the meantime, I'm going to save this before I lose all of my work. And, yeah. So, this is kind of how we're going to do it, I think. I think this will work. These will be your spawns. We will index one of them to each player. Like apply them to a variable inside the player, and then every single time we need to spawn something, we'll grab that one from that variable from the player. We're going from the current player, where you grab and we override which one it is based on the current player's level and class, and then we put it in there, and then we just boom, and that's what we do. Yeah. Or whenever we level up, we'll probably just assign it into a variable that is assigned to the player, and then just grab from that variable. And every single time. That way we don't have to figure out this entire list of which one's equipped every single time. Anyway, the point is, I think this will work. I think we're getting, I think we're doing very well. And I think that the stream has to end and I gotta go to bed. So I will catch you guys next time.